Tasha checking in with another video. And this is going to be none other than our weekly review on Love After Lockup, Season 6, episode. What episode are we on? 7? Hold on, let me make sure. I don't want to give y'all the wrong one. Yes, episode 7, Playing with Fire. All right. If it's your first time joining me, go ahead and like this video, comment in the comment section, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. I want to kick off this video with saying thank you, thank you so much to all of my subscribers. We have now hit 1K. Actually, we've hit over 1K. Yay! I'm so excited. And I thank you all. It's because of you all that have decided to rock with me and choose me as your tribe leader and is one of your tribe leaders, because I'm sure you watch other people on YouTube. But I thank you all so much for the 1K subscribers. Okay, over 1K. All right. So with that being said, we are about to get into, thank you, Kelly. We're about to get into this week's review. Okay, if I had to give this episode a review on a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to give this a 5. All right. Y'all let me know in the comments what you all will give this week's episode. Okay. Because I mean, it was all right, but I don't know. It's dwindling out. That's what's happening. The show is coming to an end. I think they got like 2 more episodes before it's like completely done for. Okay. All right, let's get into the first couple. We are going to kick it off with Z and Troy. Z and Troy, I honestly feel like they could have left them off. I say that all the time, but they don't have nothing going on. But let's jump into them. Z's friend decides to come into town and to visit her. She's visiting her, I think, from New York City, and they've been friends for 14 years. Okay, she gets to the house and they are talking about Troy and his baby mom, of course, because they have nothing else to talk about. Okay. Z is acting like that she don't know why her and Yana are beefing. And I'm just like, Z, we have seen your behavior towards Yana with Troy. All of this stuff has played out on Facebook, on YouTube. You all have been beefing and having drama because Troy does not want to be man enough to sit down with his baby's mom and his wife to put some things in order. I believe you is the man. If you sat down, took control of some things, then you would really be able to have some type of relationship. What's up? What's up? I think your name is Zane. Welcome to the live. Make sure y'all go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel. Okay. But Troy doesn't want to be a man. He doesn't want to take, advantage of the situation or take control. I'm sorry, of the situation that's going on between his baby mom and his wife. All right. What's up, Mega Man? Welcome to the live. And so Troy ends up calling Yana, and Troy says that, finally calls her. Troy says that, can you please let my daughter come over and spend the night with me? I am in Buffalo. Okay. Yana is like, I don't know. Every time Troy got on the television screen, he was having a blunt in his hand. Yes, he was smoking the good old weed, and he had it in between his fingers every time we saw him. And as a mother, if my child's father was smoking the good old weed, I would not let my daughter come over there. I'm sorry. We are talking about Life After Lockup. It is a show that comes on WeTV here in the US. It comes on at 8 o'clock, and we are doing the review for this week's episode that aired on Friday. What's up, King? Welcome to the live. Okay. And so Yana, I understand how she felt. I would not have let my child go over her father's house if he is under the influence of drugs. Now, I know some people say that weed is not like the hard stuff, and so people still function with weed. However, you're still under the influence, and your daughter deserves to have a parent that is coherent and not under some type of substances. And so I understood what Yana meant. He goes on and tells her that, on the phone when he's talking to the daughter, well, I've been trying to reach you all weekend, that I've been here. So if anybody ever tells you I didn't try to reach out to you, don't listen to them. I thought that was unwarranted. And Yana did too, because she said, I'm hanging up. And I would have done the same thing. Fast forward back over to Syracuse, where Z is at with her friend. They are about to go wedding dress shopping. Z lets us know that she never had a wedding, that her and Troy had like a shotgun jail jailhouse wedding. Okay, so now she wants to have a real wedding, which is what you chose to do. So I don't feel sorry for the fact that you didn't have an actual wedding because you chose that, right? So she's going to get a wedding dress. She meets up with her mom and her friend comes. They're looking at these wedding dresses. I would say this: Z is crazy to me as a box of rocks. However, in the wedding dresses, she did look really pretty. They really fit her body well and did her justice. I believe the last one she tried on that was like a mermaid type dress was the one that she should go with. Okay. She says that Troy hasn't reached out to her, that he's been up in Buffalo handling, his baby mom and the daughter, and he has to see his daughter without Z. Troy is up here handling business with his family, but they just did this to make a storyline because everything that they're doing seems like it happened years and years ago, and they're just dredging up things to give them some type of storyline. And it's just ridiculous. So while Z is trying on the dresses, back over to her. Her mother and the friend is sitting out there and they're talking about that they're glad Z did not go to Buffalo because it would have been a bunch of drama and they would have been blaming Z for the mere fact that Troy and baby Troy and Yana has some drama in their life. Okay. Fast forward back to Buffalo. Again, Troy has a blunt in his hand. He has a substance abuse problem. I'm sorry. I know people think that weed is not that big of a deal, but I feel like Troy gives me weed head vibes. Like every now and then, if you see somebody with weed, you're like, okay, they don't really have a problem. But every time the camera comes on, has a blunt in his hand. I think he has a serious problem, and it needs to get rectified before he is allowed to be in his daughter's life in the way that he wants to. And this is just my opinion. We can agree to disagree, but that's just my opinion. Okay. We see Troy, he is putting on blue. He's with his brother. He's telling everybody to wear blue. They are going to plan some type of memorial for his father because while the father was locked up, thank you for subbing, Brittany. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family. Everybody, welcome Brittany to the family. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, Bethany. I don't know where I got Brittany from. Thank you, Bethany, for subbing to me. Welcome, Bethany. Make sure y'all liking this video up. Okay, so Troy is putting on blue. Everybody else is putting on blue. They're about to go memorialize his father because when he was locked up, his father had died. And so they want to have some type of service for the father. So the brother is getting his stuff together with the blue. He decides to go outside and call Yana. Okay. He tells Yana that he apologizes. Oh, you're a small YouTuber as well. I would definitely be returning the subscribe favor. And you can do it. Keep going. Stay dedicated. Stay consistent. And your channel is going to definitely grow. Yes, I'm a small YouTuber too, even though I'm over 1K, but still, that just happened. So I'm excited for that. So Troy calls Yana, who is his baby's mother, and he asks her, look, let's squash the beef. I don't want to have any drama anymore. I really want us to come together. I want my wife to be together. Oh, okay, you know what? It's going to grow. It's going to grow, Bethany. I really want my wife to be together with my baby's mom, and I want all this drama to be squashed and all of those things. So Yana is like, I hear you. I accept your apology. He's like, I want my daughter to be at the memorial. Yana says, why? And I didn't understand why Yana was asking Troy, why does your daughter have to be there? Because that's was her grandfather. Okay. And Troy said that as well. So I didn't understand why Yana didn't want her to come. Only thing I could think of is maybe baby Troy did not have a good relationship with his father. I don't know. However, Troy was like, please let her come. I'm begging you on my hands and knees. Let her come. And so Yana says, all right, we'll come. He said, you can come as well. If y'all can wear blue, that would be great. Okay. Then he fast forwards, he goes and he calls Z. He asks Z that he misses her, please come to Buffalo to be in support of the memorial for his father. And she's like, you didn't call me all this time, and now you want me to come and be there for you in your time of need. I said, Z, stop being selfish. If this is what this man is trying to do in honor of his father, put your stuff to the side. And she did because she said she had to hurry up and go. And so I think she's going to take her friend that she's known for 14 years as some type of backup because she probably knows that Yana is going to be there. And that's probably the reason why she was hurrying up to go, because if it wasn't for Yana, I don't think that she even would have went. That's just my opinion, but y'all let me know what y'all think. Okay. So that's the end of this couple. Let's go on to the next one, which we are going to do Will and Courtney and get them out of the way. I don't want to see them no more, but I got a feeling they're going to push these people to the very end. This is the end of their relationship. Nothing I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. I don't know what. Okay. Something was in my mouth. I don't know. I didn't want to do that on camera. So this is the end of their relationship. Will is at his hotel. He is up here trying to figure out why it is that Courtney hasn't signed these papers, where she's at. Thank you for liking Bethany. Where she's at. He has been waiting at the hotel for her to arrive because y'all know Will wants Courtney to sign these divorce papers. And so Courtney hasn't shown up yet. Will is just like, I'm gonna get my stuff together because I have a flight to catch. Hold on. Oh, this is so ridiculous. This is so it's so embarrassing on camera. You know how you eat something? I ate dinner earlier, a little earlier, like a few moments ago, and it's too hot, and you burn the roof of your mouth, and you have like some skin hanging at the roof of your mouth, and it's so annoying until you like get it off. But I don't know where that's coming from. Okay, I think I got it off. I'm sorry, y'all. Anything can happen over here at the Redefine Me channel. So anyway, let's get back to Will and Courtney. So he is up here packing up his stuff because he said he has a flight. He's going on his way back to California. So he goes downstairs, and finally Courtney is out there, and she's like, "It took you long enough to get here." I'm sorry, y'all. It took you long enough to get here. And he's just like, I have been waiting for you. The first time I see you, first thing you do is start yelling. They're very toxic. They're over each other. I don't know why they're still here. I don't even know why they still have them in the confessionals with each other because it's very awkward and weird. Because every time Will tries to pour his heart out in the confessionals, Courtney laughs at the situation. And really, I'm laughing with Courtney because it's very comical. Will is acting like he had been knowing this woman for 20 years, and all of a sudden the situation happened. You marry somebody straight out of prison. And then Courtney made a good point. A husband is supposed to take care of his wife. Whether you like the fact that she went in and got Mark to pick her up and all this other stuff, you wasn't there for her, Will. So take some ownership. She made a good point. A husband takes vows, better or worse. You're supposed to take care of your wife. You wasn't there, so she went and got somebody that was going to be her support system. And who was that? Creepy Mark, okay? But Mark was there to pick up the pieces that you fumbled and dropped. If you was there for her, maybe y'all could have worked on your relationship and maybe you all would still be married. But you didn't want to do that, okay? So finally, he says, give me the papers. He opens the paper, she signed it, but inside the paper, she has the fake little ring that he gave her. Remember, the pawn shop lady told her the ring was fake, but she had rubbed it in some dirt. And he's like, that's exactly how your personality is, dirty like the dirt that you put on this ring. Okay. So they go back and forth, cuss each other out. She says she calls him a bee. She says he's the biggest bee she ever seen. And she stayed in jail for 2 years. She's been around 600 bees, so she know how they act. And I don't curse on this channel, so fill in the B word. They're in the confessionals, and the producers are trying to interview them and ask them, they're asking Will, is this the worst thing that Courtney has ever done to him? And he says yes, because Courtney had somebody drop her off at the confessionals. They said, who is the person that dropped you off? She was like, it's a friend. If Courtney don't have nothing else, she has a bunch of friends. Okay. And so Will didn't like that. And I'm like, Will, get over it. Okay. You wanted to divorce this lady. That's what happened. That's a done deal. Just end it. It's over with. Okay. That's all that happened with them. I don't want to see them no more on my screen. Let's move on to the next couple, which is going to be Daniel and Bianca. Dan has turned into a complete a-hole. Okay. And y'all can fill in the words, a jerk, for lack of better words. Okay. We open up. Now, Dan and Bianca have broken up. However, they're still living in the same apartment. I don't understand why. Because if it was me that was Bianca, I would have kicked this raggedy tail out because I'm pretty sure he's not on the lease of the apartment because he's a felon. If you're a felon, most apartment complexes are not going to rent to you, let alone have you on the lease. So I'm pretty sure Bianca had got the apartment on her own and Dan was just living there helping her pay the bills, or because she said he wasn't really helping like that. So now they're living in this apartment. They're not together. They're just roommates. And I think that's because Bianca says she still loves Daniel. So that is why he's still at the apartment. But what's love got to do with it? Shout out to Tina Turner. Because I would have kicked this raggedy, substance abuse, jailhouse rock having pasty, tall self out of my apartment. Okay. Kelly said Daniel was using her. Yep. And he said it. Oh my God. When he met up with her, They decided to meet up at this restaurant to get closure, I guess. When I say I wanted Bianca to do a real housewife and throw a drink in his face or flip the table over or do something, I was rooting for her to do something and act out. See, the problem is Bianca don't have no black girlfriends. Every race and nationality needs to have a crew of black girlfriends, or maybe one or two black girlfriends that's going to tell them what to do and give it to them. Because the girl that was on this show, I forgot her name, she had two black girlfriends, and you can tell the difference in when she confronted her man versus when Bianca is confronting Daniel. See, Bianca don't have no black no black girlfriends in her life because they would have let her know, no, this is what you do, this is how you talk to him, this is how you act. Now, that doesn't mean that black women always act out, flip tables over, but when it's time to handle business and things that we will stand for and we won't stand for, we know how to get you together real quick, okay? And Bianca definitely needed that in her corner at this moment because Daniel was very disrespectful to her. They went out to eat to get some closure at some restaurant, some tacos and tequila, and he immediately says, ooh, tequila. And I'm like, you're doing too much, Dan. She said, you're not going to drink, are you? And he says, no. So they get waters and stuff, and she's like, I don't really have an appetite. Kelly says she was trying to figure out why he was acting like that. She truly loved him. I know, right? Um, Okay. I know, right? That's so weird. Why he turned on her like this? Because everybody watching this is trying to figure out where did the turn happen with Daniel. And I believe it's when Daniel bossed up and he got himself together a little bit. Like he got a little bit of a job, a little bit of a car, and he's feeling himself. Because I'm telling you, when you start from rock bottom and you begin to climb and elevate, you start feeling yourself. And if you feel like that you've outgrown a person and you don't really mess with a person like that because you could maybe do better than the person, I think that's what happened to him. I think he's talking to somebody else. He met somebody else while he was dealing with Bianca and he liked the other person. So he decided to go and pursue this other person. But in the meantime, instead of him being honest with Bianca, he decides to treat her like a jerk in hopes that she would just run back to Florida. Right. And so when they're at this table and they're having this conversation, Daniel tells her and us that I didn't really like you. I really didn't like you. I only used you to get you to come here. I said the good old prison talk so you could come here to Arizona because I did not want to live in a halfway house. And she was like, are you serious? Because I'm not sure. I don't really know if you're serious or not. Yes, Bethany. So she was just like, he was like, no, I'm serious. Why would you say that to her? Like, I'm just like, did you ever really care for her at all? Like, if you grow out a like with somebody, you could that's fine. But you don't have to be a jerk to them and hurt them like that. Like, that's just to me, I would have walked right out. I would have went back to that apartment, packed my stuff up, broke the lease, and went back to Florida. That's what I would have done. What else happened with them? No. Dan says that he'd been talking to somebody on Tinder. She was shocked because I would have been shocked too, because I think in her heart of hearts, she didn't think that that was what it was. But Bianca has to take some type of ownership because women have intuition, right? God has given us this beautiful gift of intuition. So you don't have to always physically see something and have somebody admit something for you to know that something is happening, right? But I think you just don't want to believe it because, like she said, she really loved him. And I believe her when she says she loved him because ain't no way she's going to move all the way from Florida to Arizona, uproot her life, not knowing nobody for this guy if she did not love him, okay? So let's back up a little bit. He's at the pool hall with Gator, and Gator was jerking out right with them. Okay, Gator was telling him that he knew this relationship wasn't going to work. He told him that it wasn't going to work. He was telling him, I'm sorry. Uh, uh, Yeah, Gator said that he should tell Bianca to go back to Florida. Again, such a jerk move. If you're a good friend or you're a good guy, even if you don't care for the girl that your man is dealing with, you still should give him some man advice. Okay. Yeah, he's definitely a goofy, Kelly. You should give him some man advice. You should say, you know what, it probably didn't work out, but you need to sit down with her and have closure because she deserves that or something. Gator just set up here because he don't like Bianca. And now that I'm thinking back on it based off of what he said in this moment when Bianca first met Gator, now I can understand how he rubbed her the wrong way and why she felt the way that she did. Because he was acting like that Daniel was better than Bianca or he could do better than Bianca. But I'm like, dude, your friend just got out of jail. Bianca hasn't been in jail. She's the one that got the money. She's the one that's going to set your friend up. So how is he better than her? But that's why how Gator was talking to her when they first met. And I didn't put two and two together until now. Um, that's it with them. He said he's talking to somebody on Tinder. Dan said that Dan is a jerk. I feel like what goes around comes around. He's going to end up getting it right back to him the way that he treated Bianca, because even if it's over with somebody, you don't have to be disrespectful. Kelly said none of his friends don't like her. None of his friends like her, right? But none of the friends even gave her a chance or got to know her. I think the friends are going off of what Dan is telling her, because Dan made a point in the meeting at the restaurant. He said that, you know, I don't like you anymore because I lived with you and I found out that the goals and dreams that you had. And I'm just like, what is he talking about? What goals and dreams did she express to you outside of wanting to marry you and have your baby? Like, those were the goals and dreams that she wanted. And she can't do that by herself. So you didn't really want to do that. So now you're going to sit up here and try to tear this woman down and make it seem like she didn't have no goals and dreams. But as far as I'm concerned, Bianca, from what I've seen on this show, is actually elevated from the time we first met her to this point. She stopped drinking. Her skin looks better. It looks like her hair is a little better or whatever. She looked like she's, you know, healthier. You know, it just to me seems like you didn't give this woman enough grace, but you wanted all the grace in the world when you got out of prison. Boy, bye. Daniel is a piece of crap. He's a jerk. I don't want to see him no more. Bianca, if it was me, child, I would break that lease and go back to Florida because you deserve better than him. You are young. Yes, you've made some mistakes. We all made mistakes, okay? But do not let this man sit up here and try to make you feel worse about your past or about yourself. She goes and tells us on this episode too, y'all know she had been in an accident, a car accident that caused her to have like this scar on her neck. And she said she almost lost her life. So she's trying to take her time to build herself back up, which now that I'm liking Bianca in this moment, I'm kind of more so understanding her versus when I first met her. And we all have been guilty of this sometimes with women. Like, we meet a guy that we really, really like, and so we try to smother him with love, and we think that that means like buying him things or having his back or doing certain things, and we shrink to ourselves and put ourselves on the back burner for this man, right? And then come to find out, when we have finished building this man up, when he's elevated, now all of a sudden he looks at you like trash. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if y'all understand what I'm saying. You know, I hope it resonates with y'all, but I feel bad for Bianca because even with all her flaws on this show, no one deserves to be treated like this. And Dan is disgusting, in my opinion. But that's it with them. Let's move on to the next couple, and that is going to be none other than Brooke and JK. Brooke, I don't know what's wrong with this woman. I don't know what's wrong with this woman, but let's get into it. So 14 weeks have passed since JK has been out of prison. And I'm just like, in 14 weeks, this man has went through a lot of drama and stuff that we have seen on this show. You would have thought that he'd been out for a year. He didn't have got somebody pregnant, cheated on Brooke. She had a miscarriage. He done possibly been accused of using and all this other stuff that happened, child. But anyway, let's get into it. So Brooke and JK are doing well, so they say. Yes, prison, Bethany. Everybody on this show, this is Life After Lockup, has been locked up. Not everybody, but the people that have been locked up, and then they get out in the free world and they have met somebody while they're in prison, and so they start a life with them. So JK is the one that was locked up. And so Brooke and JK seem to be doing good. JK lets us know, he's like, y'all, I'm doing good. New me, new life, new this, you know, clock it, you know, new all of this. I got new teeth. And I'm just like, Okay, JK. He's on the camera showing us his, dentures and stuff. Cause y'all know he had 3 teeth starting the season up until now. Okay. He done got him a truck. He done got him a little job or whatever. And he says he about to go meet up with Brooke because they live 2 hours from each other. 2 hours from each other. That's what makes me think, okay, so Brooke, you were really a horrible mother because you were spending a lot of time at JK's mama house, which is 2 hours from where you live at. Wow. So they meeting up to go out on some date night. But as far as I'm concerned, this date was whack because all they did was walk in the park and put a lock on a gate. And that's all we saw. And unless producers did not videotape the other stuff that they had did on this particular date night. But I don't know. But anyway, they walking in the park and everything, and they start having this conversation about Alex. And so Alex is JK's ex-girlfriend. And so she goes and says that why is it that your biological father that we have met still has a relationship with Alex? Alex is your ex. I don't think Alex should have any dealings with your family at all. And so she says your family needs to not have a relationship with her. It's me and you. Alex needs to be out of the picture. JK says that Alex talks to the dad all the time because they have a good relationship. Brooke is like, I don't like it. Get rid of it. Talk to your dad. He says, I could talk to my dad, but I do not know if it's going to do anything. Fast forward, Brooke lets us know that she has a new job. I said, okay, Brooke, congratulations. We find out that Brooke is up with DoorDash. Excuse me, y'all. Now, I don't know if it's DoorDash per se. However, it seems to be DoorDash because she's delivering food. She lets us know that she never imagined that she would be in the position in life where she would have to deliver food. I said, Brooke, don't down people that do DoorDash or deliver food. Baby, money is money, okay? You got to get out here and do what you got to do. You got bills to pay. You got 2 kids. But Brooke, you had a job. If you wasn't running up behind 3 teeth JK, okay, you could have still had your job, but you chose to get fired from your said employment. Okay. So don't give us that. We cannot feel sorry for you in this moment. Now, if you're doing DoorDash, just do it to the best of your ability until you can get something better. Okay. She says that she could not imagine that doing DoorDash and paying all these bills and stuff by herself. She said, especially when she has a boyfriend. Now, pause. Brooke, you have a boyfriend, not a husband. Now, some people may not like what I'm about to say, but I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. Kelly says JK Daddy must be messing around with Alex. Wow. He said they be talking for hours. I know. He said they be staying on the phone for like an hour or more, maybe 2, 3. I said, first of all, that's your son's ex. Ooh, you know what I just thought about? What if the baby is the father's? Now, plot twist. That would be insane. That would be something I would come out and do a separate video about because that would be so messy. So, anyway, Brooke says she needed help. I believe when you have a boyfriend that they can help you, but it's not their responsibility to help you. Now, some people may not agree with me, and that's okay. But I believe when you are married and you have a husband, that's when he's taking on the role of helping you, providing for you, things like that. Because when a woman walks down the aisle, if you walk down with the father, okay, Kelly said right. When you walk down with the father is giving the woman away to the husband, meaning that my job as the father of being her covering, so to speak, is over, and I'm passing the torch down to you, sir, to provide for her, to take care of her well-being, to protect her, to cover her, those things, okay? And so when you have a boyfriend, that he hasn't taken on the role of a husband. And I think sometimes boyfriend and girlfriends gets those lines blurred because men do the same thing. Like they be wanting their girlfriends to do wife duties, but then don't want to wife them, and then vice versa. And so now she's expecting JK to step into the role of her husband as her boyfriend. And I'm like, Brooke, you need to look up the definition, okay? And they don't have any kids, no kids together. So what responsibility would he have to do this for you? Right now, he can. I think a boyfriend should, if your woman is struggling or going through something and you can help her, that would be nice, but you don't have to. In my opinion. Now, some people disagree, but in my opinion. So Brooke is all over the place, right? She lets us know that her lease is about to be up on her house. She up here working for DoorDash. She ain't got no money. Brooke, you all over the place. And you did this crap to yourself chasing some yuck mouth JK, okay? Because you're a mother. Your first and foremost priority should be your boys, making sure they have a roof over their head, food on the table, clothes on their back, and you sitting up here running after some man. And now, because you ran after this man, you put yourself in a lower state and position. You're trash as a mother, Brooke. Okay. Um, she goes and sees her mom. When she gets to the mom house, the mom is watching all the grandkids. Now, where is Brooke's sibling? Because we always see the mom with the little grandbaby, but we never see the parent. And then, of course, she always has Brooke kids because Brooke is running after JK. I know that mama is like, praise God. And she said this in the confessional that you wasn't pregnant again because it would have been another baby that would have been dropped off at grandma's house. Now, I'm not saying grandparents can't help you, but the operative word is grandparents, not parents. She's raised her children. Why don't y'all come get y'all kids? But see, that's when the grandparent has to put their foot down. I'll babysit for you. I'll help you out or whatever, but I am not about to sit up here and be having a full-time daycare over here. It seemed like every time we turn around, she got all these kids with her and her kids be gone. Um JK pulls up at his dad's house, and the mom and Brooke pulls up at her mom's house. So Brooke is talking to her mom about Alex and the relationship with the family that she doesn't like. Then we pan over to JK. He at his dad's house. The dad is cutting down some leaves off of a tree, and the dad is saying, JK is talking to the dad and saying, Brooke don't really like the fact that you're talking to Alex. That's when the dad lets us know that him and Alex still have a rapport. She calls him all the time at night and they be talking for hours, right? And so he was like, well, do you even like Brooke? The dad was like, well, I don't even know Brooke. You know what I'm saying? Like, she never calls. I never got to know her, whatever. He was like, I don't know if I don't like her, right? Um, the dad said that Alex talks to him about everything. And I mean everything, everything. And so JK was like what? What is she saying? In this moment, we find out that Alex is pregnant. Now, at this moment, I was like, wait a minute. I'm confused. Are we talking about the miscarriage that she had, or is she pregnant again? Now, I'm thinking that she may be pregnant again. However, I'm not sure. Right? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Because the dad didn't say, did you know she was pregnant? He said that she's pregnant. So in my mind, I'm thinking she's pregnant again. But then again, she just had a miscarriage. But when they tape these things, time passes in between, right? But if she is pregnant again, and it's by JK, child Brooke is going to have a whole natural born fit, especially, excuse me, especially when she wanted to be pregnant by JK. So I don't know if she's pregnant again. I'm hoping not, because baby, why would you get pregnant by this yuck mouth dude that ain't got nothing going on? Granted, he's working now and he got a little truck or whatever, but he's not doing enough for him to take care of you, to take care of a baby. So Brooke is still talking to her mom about Alex. We don't care about that. I want to know. I am so curious right now. Is Alex pregnant again by JK? Inquiring minds want to know. So that's it for that couple. Let's move on to our last couple. Thank you all for being here. Go ahead and smash that like button if you have not, excuse me, subscribe. I'm still getting over this little cough. I apologize. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And let's get to the last couple, which is going to be Demadric and Kiana and Joella. Okay. Joella opens up now. Joella. I don't want to talk about nobody. I really do. But Joella, that daggone 27 piece is hollering. Like, it's crooked. It's off to the side. It got you looking foolish. The sideburns on it look dry. Child, it is time to change that wig. It is time to do something, Joella. I don't understand why these people do not realize that this show is a really big show and it's syndicated. It's shown everywhere, okay? If I'm going to show up on TV, you better believe every single time I show up, I'm going to have my hair done, okay? I may not have makeup on every single time, but I'm going to have a lip on, some blush on, or something, because you're not going to catch me slipping. I'm going to ask them, when do y'all tape it? Excuse me. And I'm going to make sure that I go ahead and have everything I need on. But Joella, you need to do something, okay? Is this dude stressing you out so much that your 27 piece is shifting? What is going on, ma'am? Get it together. So Joella is up here talking to her grandmother. She says that her grandmother have raised her up. And so one thing that she missed with her grandmother is that they always had a conversation. They was always able to talk. So she's sitting on the porch with the grandmother, and the grandmother is giving her facts and the business. I like the grandmother because the grandmother gave it to her straight, no chaser, told her everything that she needed to know. She said that, excuse me, Joella tells her, before we get to that she got into it at her son's birthday party with Demadrick's stepmom, because the stepmom feels that Joella is being petty. She needs to let some stuff go. She should have let Kiana come to the birthday party. And, I like the stepmom, but you're wrong on this part, stepmom, because Kiana has not been kind to Joella. Kiana, excuse me, y'all, every time I go live, here comes this cough. Kiana hasn't been kind to Joella. Kiana has went into Demadrick's phone and posted naked pictures of Joella. Kiana has done a lot of stuff. So what would make you think that Joella would want Kiana at her children's birthday party? I wouldn't want her there either, because, man, we need to sit down and have a conversation, and you need to apologize for the things that you have done, right? But the stepmom is trying to, I guess, take the higher road, but it wouldn't have been me. I'm sorry. I would have been like Joella. So the grandma gives Joella facts while they sit on the porch. She says that he playing the both of y'all. Excuse me, everybody. I'm so sorry. He's playing the both of y'all, which is true. She says he's living with another woman. She says he ain't thinking about you. You need to think about you. Stop opening your legs to this dude, because he do not want to be with you. Because if he wanted to be with you, he would have been with you. Like, grandma was spitting facts. I said, preach, grandma. Tell her what she needs to know, because obviously it's not getting in through that 27 piece. Okay. Kiana then and Demadrick is driving to the dad's house. Y'all know I don't like that dad. I just don't. I don't know the man, but it's something about him that gives me older F boy. You know what I'm saying? I don't really mess with the dad like that. I don't know. But anyway, they get to the dad. The dad is barbecuing. Okay, he outside. The dad is asking Demadrick, is he still sleeping with Joella? Demadrick is lying. He is still sleeping with Joella. Kelly says, I'm sorry, I just found out I have a warrant for your arrest, because her and she on my property and we fight and already have to go to jail anyway. Wait. Oh, you're talking about Kiana has the warrant. Yes. She has a warrant. Yeah. And she found out she had a warrant on this episode, and we're gonna get into it. So the dad asking Demadrick, are you still sleeping with Joella? Okay. And Demadrick, anybody with 1990 plats is going to lie. Okay. And he did. He sat up here and he was like, nah, I'm not still sleeping with Joella. Lies. How many times you going to deny this, sir? Especially when Joella, excuse me. I'm so sorry if y'all hearing this cough, replay watchers and live watchers. I'm still trying to navigate this cough. It doesn't even act up like this until I get live or start doing something where it requires me to not cough. When I'm watching TV or just chilling, barely pops up. Excuse me. And I got some cough drops, but I'll get that. And so anyway, let me get back to it. So he lies to his dad and said that he is not sleeping with Joella. The dad is living up to his F-boy title, because he says, if you are sleeping with her, I would not say anything about it. I would just tell you that you need to make a decision, make some choices, because you're playing with fire and all this other stuff. I said, see, this is why I don't like the dad. No, dad, you should tell him, if you are sleeping with her, you need to stop, because it ain't right. Right? Yeah, playing with fire. So, pan back over to the grandma. And Joella's talked to the grandma, and she's saying, the grandma said something so powerful. She said he playing y'all because y'all are two weak women fighting over him. I said, Grandma, you were giving her the business because they are. He knows. See, men know when they have a woman that has low self esteem or is weak because they know they can run over her and do all types of stuff to her. See, strong women that would have cut him off as soon as something happened, like what he's been doing, he wouldn't have been able to get away with that with somebody else that knew their worth, that had high self-esteem, that was a strong woman. But no, he know he got one woman over here that's weak for him because she done had 3 kids by him, and she still loves him because every time he wants to have sex, she lets him in. Then he got another woman on the flip side that's been rocking with him since she was in high school, and he knows that she loves him, so she'll do whatever he wants. And so he knows that he can bounce back between the two and probably some other people he bounced back between, right? And that's why he doing what he doing. Um, Kiana is talking to pan over back to them. They're at the dad's house. Kiana is talking to the stepmom. The stepmom tells her, you have to decide if you want to put up with Demontrix's foolishness and carry his baggage, okay? And I thought that was good advice as well. Kiana, you need to get away from this man because this man has brought you all the way down to hell at this point. You now have a charge against you that could be a misdemeanor and a warrant for your arrest. Okay. But let's get into it. Why was Demontrix's dad taking Kiana to the lawyer's office? Why, you might ask? Because Demontrix tells her that he doesn't want to be around police and all of that. Sir, you are out of prison. You don't have no more dealings with prison. If your woman is going through a situation where she needs to meet with a lawyer, you should be able to be there for her. See, Demadric full of crap. He didn't want to go because he knew that Joella was coming over his house. He's trying to act like he didn't know that she was going to come over there and that she was going to bring the kids and all of that. That's why he didn't want to go. He's trying to act like, oh, I'm scared of lawyers and the police, and I don't want to be around this and all of that. However, no, Demadric, you are an F-boy, and you knew exactly what you was doing, okay? So they ride in the car. The dad is taking her to see the lawyer. They get up to the lawyer's office, and the lawyer, she goes in to see the lawyer by herself, and the dad waits out in the waiting room, right? So the lawyer goes over her charges. He says that you have a misdemeanor for destruction of property. It says that her tires, of course, the tires were destroyed. And he said a misdemeanor is different from a felony. A misdemeanor means that you'll just be spending time in like county jail. He also lets her know that she has a warrant for her arrest for criminal mischief. And she goes and says, in my name? I said, girl, yes, he knows your name. You have a warrant for your arrest. And he said, for the tune of $750. Child, I believe Kiana did this mess because how the heck? And she said this is going on for word of mouth. And he was like, I mean, the police, if they have enough evidence to believe that they can assert a warrant, then they will. Meaning that there's enough evidence that they found that you did it. I think she did it at this point because ain't no way you just going to have a warrant for your arrest. Excuse me. And they just pick you out of anybody, right? So she's just sitting there looking crazy. The lawyer is saying that she should do a book and release. And I was like, what is that, lawyer? A book and release is when you go turn yourself in and get booked in and all that other stuff. And then while you're there, you go ahead and pay the bond at the same time you're getting booked in. And so she says, well, I didn't do anything, so why should I have to do that? Okay. Child, book and release. Go do what you need to do. So she leaves out of that situation after speaking with the lawyer. We pan back over to Joella. She is at Demontrix and Kiana house with the kids. They look playing a little catch for 2 seconds. Playing catch for 2 seconds. And Kiana then tells the dad that she has a warrant. Okay. Pan back over to the house. Joella is saying that she doesn't know who did this. Now I'm looking at Joella sideways because Joella is saying, I just trying to get to the bottom of this, of who did this. But I thought you said Kiana did it, Joella. See, Demadre needs to be taking notes to help his girl out if he really trying to help his girl out because Joella don't really even know who did it. She don't like Kiana, so she's trying to pin it on her. But at the same time, I feel like Kiana have done it because why would the police then issue the warrant, right? And so, she is just like shows Demadric a video on her phone. The video on her phone is of Demadric pacing back and forth in front of her house. Then after he paces back and forth in front of her house, he ends up going back to the house at like 1:30. The night that Kiana asked him where he had been at and how when did he get home, and he got home really late. That was the night that he slept with Joella. Okay, because Joella lets us know that he wanted to have sex, and she just said, finally, forget it. Let's have sex, because she wanted to. And that was like 2 weeks ago. Okay. And so Joella, even with everything that the grandmother told her, she is still going to let Demadric slide up in her womanhood any chance he gets and wants to. Because excuse me, she's not over him. And that's the unfortunate thing. It really is unfortunate because you need to focus on yourself, building yourself, focus on raising your sons, and co-parent with this dude and be over it. But see, it's hard for her to get away from him because she loves him, and that sex is a powerful thing. When you have sex with somebody, it is very powerful, and it's hard for her to shake it. And so she don't know what to do. But y'all let me know what y'all think about Kiana. Do y'all think she did it? Do y'all think she gonna turn herself in? I believe she gonna go ahead and turn herself in because that would add for good TV to this storyline. And she's gonna go ahead and get some type of bond or whatever it's gonna be. Let me make sure I didn't leave out any of the couples because we did not have Mike and Justine because they don't have nothing going on. And we did not have Keith and Letitia because they don't have nothing going on for real. All right, y'all. Yeah, that was it. That's all the couples that I have. That is my review for Life After Lockup, season 6, episode 7, Playing with Fire. Again, if it's your first time joining me, go ahead and like up this video. Go ahead and subscribe to the Redefine Me channel. We have a great time over here. Y'all, last week was weekend. Okay, and so I didn't get a chance to do my reaction videos like I wanted to, but this said we coming. I'm going to be hitting y'all with a lot of reaction videos. So when you subscribe to the channel, make sure your notification button is on. It's been so much that went on this week. It is insane. And we are going to get into some reaction videos. So make sure notification button is on. Make sure you look out for those. I am going to be adding The Shy to my shows that I'm going to review. So when that comes back on, I will be reviewing The Shy. I'm probably going to review The Shy on Saturdays. I'm thinking Saturdays, either Friday or Saturday, because I believe The Shy comes on on Tuesday or Wednesday, one of them days. But I'm going to be reviewing The Shy. I wanted to review Sisters, Tyler Perry's Sisters, but Tyler Perry sucks. That show. The only reason I'm still watching the show, you were rated a 6, right? I gave this episode a 5, maybe a 5.5. But I would do Sisters, the Tyler Perry show. I've been watching that show from the beginning, and I love Sisters, but Tyler Perry, for a minute, he had good writers, and the last season was dope. Now he's going back to trying to take creative license and write it himself. And I don't care what nobody says. Tyler Perry sucks at writing these dramatic story type sitcom shows and stuff. It just sucks. He needs to stop being arrogant and relinquish those writing skills to actual people that have other ideas. Like it just, I don't know. But I am going to review The Shy. If all the Queen's Men come back on, I'm going to be reviewing all the Queen's Men as well. I'm going to add that on. Friday. The Shy comes on Fridays. So if The Shy comes on Fridays, then I'm going to probably review it on Saturday. So I'm gonna have to look at it on Friday, take the said notes, review on Saturday, and then do Love After Lockup on Sunday. So yeah, but look out for that. The fall season is in full effect, and I want to kind of get a nice, great, juicy schedule going on. I don't want to overload myself because I do still work a 9 to 5. I do still run some other businesses and are building some things. And so I don't want to overload myself with a bunch of different show reviews. However, I am going to be doing the Shy Love After Lockup is not going anywhere. I'm going to be doing motivational Mondays every Monday. And I'm also going to be doing reaction videos, which, reaction videos, I'm my days for that is Thursday and Friday. However, I may add on some extra days onto that. So only thing you can do is definitely Thursday and Friday reaction videos is going to go forward, but keep your notification button on because I may go ahead and add Wednesday as a reaction video day as well. Okay. So I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful, awesome Sunday, that God smiles upon you, that you will have a blessed work week. That you won't let nothing stress you out at work, that you would not. I know some people have anxiety when Sunday comes because they are just like, oh my God, I got to go back to work. If you're off on the weekends and you don't want to deal with that, but just pray, take a deep breath, get a bath going, light a candle or something, just really woo-side because it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I understand how y'all feel because I'm off Saturday and Sunday. I go back to work tomorrow, but my saving grace is that I don't have to go back to work until tomorrow night because I work overnight. Okay. So I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for joining me. Welcome to all the new subbies. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And until we meet again, y'all have a blessed and beautiful Sunday. Bye.